Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, Pune brings to you a webinar on Phonics. Decode the sounds of letters. To recognize how sounds are represented alphabetically, to develop their reading comprehension and decode new words as they read, to discover the jolly way of teaching sounds by our speaker Tejal Shah. To become successful readers, spellers, and writers in the early years of schooling and beyond. Our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar, has inspired and guided us to make reading fun and engaging for the child, to help children broaden their vocabulary and general knowledge. Let's begin with our today's interesting webinar.
A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, I, Mrs. Sarika Rahul Paigude, welcome you all for our today's wonderful webinar, Phonics, Decode the Sounds of Letters. The primary focus of phonics is to help beginning readers understand how letters are linked to sounds, to form letter sounds, correspondences, and spelling patterns, and to help children learn how to apply this knowledge in their reading. Keeping this in mind, we at Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, under the support and guidance of our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar Sir, and our education committee members, have come up with this webinar of phonics, which will surely help our children to become successful readers and writers. Now, I request our principal, Mrs. Jacinta Manuel ma'am, to kindly brief all of us about the working of our school. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sarika. Happy morning to one and all. It's a privilege to welcome our guest and our ex-student, Mrs. Tejal Shah, founder of Learning Nest, for accepting our invitation and joining us today for the webinar on phonics. Practice makes perfect, ties well with phonics, as it is an important tool for children to develop reading skills. Children are able to turn up into fluent readers who can quickly recognize familiar words and sounds of new words. Students are able to easily understand the overall meaning of words while they read. To promote vocabulary and language development, to become better spellers, building patience and concentration, and reading skills for better academic performance, we at Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School always strive to broaden a child's vocabulary by introducing phonics right from early age. We also promote phonics in our Institute of Education and Career Development for the students to excel well in academics. I heartily thank our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar Sir, for the unclenching support and guidance in all we do for our school. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to introduce our chief guest, Mrs. Tejal Shah. Ma'am is the founder of the Learning Nest, Phonics and Grammar Academy. It is an education institute that offers various programs such as Jolly Phonics, Jolly Grammar, Handwriting Improvement, and Reading Club for children of ages 4 and above. Ma'am is a passionate teacher whose main objective is to help children to develop their love for learning at an early age. Ma'am has been conducting classes for kids and also training teachers for Jolly Phonics and Jolly Grammar since 2012. Ma'am has a vast experience in teaching in kindergarten schools in Pune. Ma'am is also TESOL, TEFL certified and has trained more than 300 teachers. Ma'am takes trainings and workshops for children, teachers, and parents across India. Ma'am has completed the CPD course, which is UK-based for Jolly Phonics and Jolly Grammar. I also feel happy to mention that Tejal ma'am is an ex-student of our Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School. You are most welcome, ma'am. Now, I request ma'am to kindly share her views on our today's topic, phonics. Over to Tejal ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. A very good morning, one and all. Respected Jasanta ma'am, teachers, parents, and all the wonderful children present here. Being the past student of Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, it gives me immense pleasure to share my knowledge about phonics to you all. The phonics will help you to share in reading and writing of English language. So let's start to give you help you to give the insights about the subject and the concepts of enlighten of reading and writing to you all. So let me begin this journey of jolly phonics with you all. So let me begin by asking you a question. What is language? Language is a method of communication, either spoken or written, consisting in a conventional way. It is an expression of sounds combined into words. So it's basically transmission of human thoughts. There are different languages spoken around the world for exchanging ideas, since language is a very powerful tool and effective tool for communication. It is the most important and beneficial tool for human development. And as you all know, that language development happens at an earlier stage, and now phonics is one of the important aspects in doing so. So what is phonics? Let me put in very simple lines. Every letter has the letter name and the letter sound. For example, N is the name of the letter and N is the sound. So the N sound are called phonemes. So the science of formation of these phonemes into words is nothing but phonics. There are different types of phonics. We are specialized in Jolly Phonics, which is a UK-based program, which was written by Sue Lord and Sarah Verman and was published by Chris Jolly. Jolly Phonics is a multisensory, fun-filled synthetic phonics program where the child learns to read and write through stories, actions, songs, and activities. It is the most popular program and it is used worldwide. Now, in early 80s and 90s, the child used to memorize the words to read and write. So what was the approach that time used? That was an analytical approach or a traditional approach, which nowadays no one uses in kindergarten school. Everyone follows the synthetic phonics approach. To synthesize means to blend the sounds together. Blending is nothing but to join the sounds together to form the word. So we are going to follow the synthetic phonics approach to learn to read and write. The ability to make the connections between the letter symbols and sounds form the basis to decode the sounds in the word. For that, every child should understand, should know in fact, that the cat has, in the word cat, has 3 sounds, and C stands for K, A stands for A, and T stands for Ch. And when we blend them together, that is, when we make it K, A, T, cat, it makes the word as cat. So this knowledge of phonemic awareness is very important for every child to decode the words in the sentences. So to make them a very independent writers and confident readers. It's very important that the child should understand this alphabetic code. Now, though there are 26 letters, we are going to teach the child the basic 42 sounds. This basic 42 sounds are divided into 7 groups, 6 sounds in each group. And every sound we teach normally to the child through stories, actions, songs, and activities. These all songs, which are UK based, they are available on YouTube. You can see the songs, you can download the app to revise all these sounds to have the correct pronunciation of the sounds. Okay. And it also has a website by the name Jolly Learning website, where you will get a lot of case studies that how phonics helps in reading and writing. Okay, so I would love to share my PPT with you all. Okay. Now, we are not going to go in the order of A to Z to teach the children the sounds. Why? Because there was a lot of case studies done and they have come up to this order, and they have understood that once the child learns through this order, the child is 11 months ahead of the normally the child learning to read and write. And through this approach, it not only helps in reading, but also in writing. Okay, so we are going to follow this order and not A to Z order. Okay, so now when we learn when we are going to teach these sounds, we are going to take care that we are not going to teach them the letter names, because that will create a confusion for the child. For example, when I say A, it makes a sound. And when I say E, it makes a sound. When I say I, it makes E sound, and O when it makes O sounds. It really creates a confusion for the child to read and write. So when we are teaching them the basic 42 sounds, we will take care that we will be only concerned about the sounds and not the letter names. So let's begin to learn each and every sound of every group. So the first sound which we teach is the S sound. S sound, like in spider, sun, nest, spots, where you could hear the sound in the beginning, at the end, also in the middle of the word. So whenever the letter S comes, the child is going to say it as S. Also, we have to avoid saying it as sir. Do we say sir, busser? No. To have that correct pronunciation, it has to be S. Okay. So next, move to the next sound. The next sound is A, as in apple, ant, as in apricot. When we keep our mouth wide enough, we get that perfect sound as A. A. Yes. Let's move to the next sound, and the sound is T. T. So whenever the T letter comes, we are going to say it as T. T. Try to avoid it saying it as T. Because when we say T, after T, we could hear that schwa sound as So the child may write for that also. So try to keep it shorter and spell it as T, like in tan, 10, parrot, where we could hear at the end of the sound. Let's move to the next sound. The next sound we teach is E. E. Take care that you don't stretch it and say it, and keep it shorter and say it as E, like in, like in insect, ill. Yes. Let's move to the next sound. It's P, like in parrot, pen, pot, pin. And the last sound of the first group is N. Whenever the N letter comes, the child is going to say it as N, like in tan, fan, not. Okay. Again, try to avoid saying it no. Do we say t and no, tanner? No, it's tan. So as we are learning the English language, which is a UK based, the pronunciation of the sounds are very important. It has to be precise and clear. So make it as mm. Okay. Now let's move to the second group. Now C and K both make the same sound, that is k, k, like k, act, cat, like k, eat, kit. But here in level 1, that is the basic sounds, we don't teach them when to use C, when to use K. In fact, we say it as k, act for curly k. And for K, we say it as kicking k. Okay? The next sound is A, as in hen, elf, elephant, A, A. The next sound is like in hot, hand, hip. The next sound is r, r. for rat, rabbit, rip. The next sound is like in mat, man, men. Many words like mummy, mom. Yes. And the last sound of the second group is d, like in drum, dad, did, dog. Okay. So here we finish with our second group. Let's move to the third group. Now, G sound is g, g, like in girl, get, got, gun. The next sound is o, like in on, off, octopus. The next sound in the third group is a. Whenever the U letter comes, the child is going to say it as a, like in umbrella, under. Okay. The next sound is lemon, lip, lips, lollipop. After that, we will be teaching them sound. Whenever the F letter comes, the child is not going to say fur, but it is like in fat, fish. Okay. And the last sound is b, like in bat, ball, bin. Many words are there. Okay. So here we finish with our third group, and now we are moving to the fourth group. Now, whenever the two vowels are coming together, we will be telling the letter name of the first sound. So here, A and I, they both are the vowels. So we will be not saying it as A, E, but we will say the name of the letter, and the second letter will be always silent. So it will be, what is the name of the first letter? It will be A, like in rain, tail, pain. Okay. The next sound is J, like in jet, jog, jolly. The next sound, again, there are two vowels are walking together. So we'll apply the same rule that when two vowels walk together, first does the talking and second is always silent. And the name of the first letter will be the sound of that digraph. Okay. So what is the name of the first letter? That is O. That is a name. So that is only going to be the sound of that vowel digraph. So we will say it as O, like in goat, road, foal. The next sound is I. Again, we will apply the same rule, the letter name of the first letter, and we will say it as I, like words like t, I, chai, I lie, d, I die. Okay. Now, actually, Jolly Phonics, every sound is being taught through story, action, song, and activity. So I can't complete everything, but today I'm just making you introduce with the sounds and the rules and the alternatives of it. So to refer the stories of Jolly Phonics, you can refer on YouTube and you can just find out all the Jolly Phonics stories, the songs, the actions, activities, and games. And as I told, you could also refer the lesson plan also, the app also through lesson plan. Okay, fine. So let's move to the next sound. It's E, like in tree, C. And the next sound is O. Now, in English, we follow a British accent also and US accent also. So some actually, here we use the sound as O. We don't say it or. In US, it is said it as or, whereas in English, it is said it as or, like in corn, horn, fork. Okay, let's move to the next sound. It's the fifth group is, the first sound is z, like in zip, zap, zoo. W sound is w, w, like in wind, well, wash. Now, whenever the ng comes in the word, you will put one, it is a one sound, and you will say it as where we G, we don't pronounce it, it is kept silent, we just stretch the N and we say it as like in sang, like in bang, like in song. V has a vibrating sound. It has, the sound is like in van, like in violin, like in volcano. Now, there is a very minute difference in the sound of W and V. When we say W words, our lips get round up, okay? And when we say V words, our lips get widen up. So the best example I can give you is by saying you the word very well. When I say very, my lips are getting widen up. And when I say W words, my lips get round up, like well. Okay? And double O has two sounds. One is called as little oo and one is called as long oo. So the little oo, the words are like b, oo, k, book, h, oo, k, hook, shook, look, took. And for the long oo, the sound are soon, moon, zoo. Okay, so they are the long sound, having long sound. Let's move to the sixth group. Y has a yes sound, like in yes, yell, yen, and many more words. For X, when we mix the K and S together, we get the sound as x, x, like in box, six, fix. Yes. Now, CH, whenever comes together, the child is going to say the sound as ch. So here, whenever the CH comes, the child is not going to say it as differently k, h, but he is going to say it as one sound and say it as ch, like in bench, church, chops, chips, and many more words. SH, that is also a consonant digraph. So it when s and h come together, it makes a new sound as sh, like in ship, sheep, shop, brush. Now TH has two sounds. One is called as voice and one is called as unvoiced. One is called as and one is called as okay. So let's see the examples to understand the pronunciation. So sound like in this, that, those, them, many more. And sound like in thick, thin, thought, three. Yes. Let's move to the next sound. Now, there is not a single word in dictionary which starts with only Q. All the words starts with QU. That's why the sound is also together as quirk, quirk, like in quick, quiz, quack. Now, OU has a sound ow, ow. It is a gliding sound. It is called as a diphthong. Okay, like in cloud, mouth, shout. OI has the sound oi, oi, as if you are calling someone, like soil, boil, toil, and many more words. UE, again, it is a long vowel. So it will be the name of the first letter, and that is U. U, like in barbecue, clue, rescue. ER has a sound. We don't pronounce the R. Again, we follow the British accent. In India, we follow the British accent, whereas in US, it is Okay, so it is the words like her, father, mother, sister, summer, and many more words. AR has a R sound. R. Again, we don't pronounce the R here. Like in car, jar, far. Okay, so these are the basic 42 sounds. Through this basic 42 sounds, the child could blend very easily 3-letter word, 4-letter words, 5-letter words, and they could read it very well. So normally we teach these 42 sounds in when the child is 4 years, that is, he will be in the nursery, and we teach them all these 42 sounds. With that, we teach them the tricky words. And the tricky words are those words which we cannot blend through sounds. We have to teach them through letter names only. So in Jolly Phonics, we teach them the basic 72 tricky words. And these 72 tricky words are taught by look, cover, write, and check approach. So basically, if first 12 tricky words are I, was, to, do, are, all, and many more. So were, as, it doesn't make a sense as wax. So we teach it by the letter names. W-A-S, was. This way we teach them the tricky words. Okay, so let's once revise all the short vowels and the long vowels. So which are the 5 short vowels? A, E, O, These are called as short vowels. Okay, like words like ran, bet, bit, pot, but. Okay, and which are the long vowels? A, like in AI, E, as in double E, O, like in OA, U, like in UE. So whenever UE or any long vowels comes, the child is not going to say the short vowel. They are going to read it this way. R, A, N, rain. T, R, E, tree. P, I, pie. G, O, T, goat. Okay, so let's move further. Now we are going to learn the rules of phonics. Okay, so when to use C and when to use K and when to use CK. Okay, that we are going to learn. So after the short vowel, if the child hears a K sound, which are the 5 short vowels that are A, E, O, after that, if the child hears a short vowel, the child is going to write CK both. So which are such words like in duck. Oh, after I am hearing a K sound. So I will write CK both. Like the word in peck. After A, I could hear a K sound. So I will write CK both. Like word in pick. Lock. So whenever there is a short vowel and immediately after that K sound comes, we are going to write CK both. But what if there is a long vowel? So if a long vowel comes, then the child will be writing only K. So which are such words like oak. So OA is a long vowel and after that the K sound is coming. So I'll write only K. Okay, seek. E is a long vowel and after that I could hear a K sound. So I will write only K. Okay. Now, actually we teach this further, but if in a word there are more than one syllable, what is one syllable? It means the vowel. If it is more than one vowel sound, then though there is a short vowel, the child is going to write it only C. So if you see the words like picnic, panic, hectic, Panasonic, logic, phonics, even it is a short vowel coming short vowel. Actually, the word is a 2-syllable word. So that's why we are writing only C and we are not writing CK. Okay. And also remember, for every rule you will find exceptions, because English language is a very complex language and it has many adopted words taken from the foreign languages like Latin, Greek, Spanish, and German. So it is it will have a lot of rules and lot of exceptions and alternatives to it. Okay, let's find out what about the words about if the k sound comes in the beginning of the word. So C is taken by A, O, U and any consonant from the 21 consonant. That time we will write C in the beginning of the word, and K is taken by I and E. So which are such words? Cat. When I say cat, after k, I could hear a sound. So I will write C and not K. Similarly, after C, I could hear a O sound or a sound. So I will write C. When I will use K, when I will be hearing the words like key, kit, the E sound or I sound. So that time I will use I. Okay. Okay. So the next rule is called as a floss rule. So the floss rule says, after the short vowel, if the child hears either of these sounds, that is s, l, or z, the child is going to double those letters. Okay, either l, s, or z. So in for example, the words like bell. So after A, I could hear a L sound. So I am going to double the L. In the word boss, after O, I could hear a sound. So I am going to double it. Buzz, after I could hear a sound. So I am going to double it. After I could hear a sound. So I am going to double it. Okay. What about if there is a long vowel? Then I won't double. For example, if the word comes at the end as meal, so E is a long vowel, and after that L sound is coming, then I won't double it. Okay, I will double only if it has a short vowel and it ends with L, S, or Z. Okay, let's move to the next rule. Now, whenever a child hears the A sound in the beginning or in the middle of the word, the child writes AI for the spellings. And if he hears the A sound at the end of the word, he will write AY for A sound. Let's check with the examples. If we say aim or snail, rain, tail, paint, what is happening? I could hear the A sound in the beginning of the word. So I will write AI. But if I hear it at the end, like tray, say, way, so I will write AY. The same way, if I hear the OI sound in the beginning or in the middle of the word, I will write OI. And if I hear it at the end, I will write OY. In the beginning or in the middle, I will write OI. If it hears at the end, I will write OY. Words like oil, point, joint. So I will write OI, but if it comes at the end, it will be OY, like in boy, joy, enjoy. Okay, now whenever Y comes at the end, it has a long E sound. Like in, we will not say year to it, we'll say long E sound. Words like jolly, teddy, spotty, sunny, puppy. Okay. And whenever the word is of either 2-letter words, 3-letter word, or a 1-syllable word, we will say it as I. Like in cry, fly, my, shy. Many words are there. Okay. Now let's learn the magic E rule. And the magic E rule says, for example, if I want to give you example, if I take the word H-O-P. I would spell it as H-O-P, hop. And now if we put a magic E to it, it becomes ho. So what does the magic E rule says? That whenever E comes at the end of the word, it will hop over the consonant and it changes the short vowel to its letter name. So I will read this word as H, the name of the letter O, and the E at the end will be always silent. So the magic E works with every vowel. So it works with A, it works with E, E split E words, I dash E words. So which are such words? H, O, ho, K, A, N, cane. If I am putting a magic E to it, if the word is, for example, K, A, Ch, cut. And if I put a magic E, it becomes K, U, T, cute. Okay. There is a worksheet which we give to the children to understand the magic E rule, and they could read all these words using the vowels. Okay, it will be B, O, N, bowl, K, U, B, cube. Okay, many words are there. Okay, so these even whenever EA comes, it also makes a E sound, but there is no rule when to use E and when to use EA. But reading, the child is going to be always correct because both have the E sound. So, but the writing, it may get wrong. So you have to just correct them that by saying no, EA also has a E sound and you have to write it down. So words like feet, beak, sleep, athlete, many words are there. Whenever IGH come, it also makes a I sound, like in night, might, high, high. Okay. Now OW, whenever it comes in the starting or at the end of the word, it makes a O sound. And whenever it comes in the starting or in the middle of the word, it makes a ow sound. So for example, if it comes in the starting or middle, I'm going to say it OW as ow sound, like words like flower, brown, crown, shower. And if OW comes at the end, I will say it as O sound, like in float, goat. Okay, many words are like crow, sparrow. Always remember, for every rule you will get the exceptions. Like for here, you could see that OW is coming at the end, but we say it as cow. Okay. EW also makes a U sound, like in flew, pew, crew, stew, news. Many words are there. Okay, fine. Now, ER was the basic sound we learn in the 42 sound, which is called as like in her, sister. And normally ER comes at the end of the word. Whenever IR or UR also come, it also makes a sound, like in flirt, shirt. Okay, like in curse, purse, bird. These, so basically whenever R comes with the vowel, it controls the sound of that vowel. For example, when it comes with A, it becomes R sound. When it comes with A, it becomes sound. When it comes with E, it becomes sound. When it comes with O, it becomes OR sound. So what does R does? R controls the sound of that vowel and it makes the sound. So they are called as R control vowels. PH also makes a sound. Okay, like in it is also alternative sound, and like words like elephant, graphic, phonics, dolphin, these are many words. Now let's learn what is soft C and soft G. So when the letter C is followed by E, I, Y, the K sound turns to sound, like words like excellent, eyes, fence, face, circle, pencil. Now in pencil, if you could see, after C, it is I coming. So I will not say K, but it is S sound. Circus, cylinder, cycle, signet. In the same manner, whenever after G, if E, I, Y comes, the G sound turns to J sound, like in oranges, gum, ginger, magic, gypsy, dingy, and many more words are there. Also, whenever AIR comes, it makes a air sound together, like words chair, fairy, pair, and also EAR comes, we makes a air sound only, like in bear, where, chair, pair, and also one trigraph. If we hear ARE together, we say it as air only, like in scare, crow, hair, square, dare. But there is no rule when to use hair or when to use EAR or when to use ARE. So we could just make them right in all the three way, and we just could say them like, no, the other two way of writing is wrong, and you could go with the correct one. This way only we could teach them the alternative sounds. Okay. So fine. So I have given you an overview, but by whatever we have taught the rules or sounds, you have to make sure with the kids that you practice a lot. You give them a lot of dictation words through which their sounds gets clear, through their spellings improve, and they could blend the words, and they could also segment the words. So they could identify the words in that. Okay. So I think so I have covered a lot in phonics. And now we will be.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With this, we will now move on to a question and answer round. I hand over to Gitanjali teacher to proceed further. Over to you, Gitanjali. Thank you, Sarika ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Warm greetings to one and all. On behalf of Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, I extend a warm welcome to all of you connected to us on Facebook Live for our today's webinar, Phonics, Decode the Sounds of Letters. It's a pleasure to have a beautiful personality, Mrs. Tejal Shah, founder, The Learning Nest, amongst us. Phonics provides a foundation of learning meant to help make reading easier. It helps them to read by breaking down words into sounds and building letters and words recognition, thus enabling child's ability to use unknown words in future. Hence, we at Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, under the support and guidance of our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar, and the respected committee members, have come up with another wonderful webinar of decoding words. Let's begin this interactive session with our students and parents. Now, I hereby request a parent, Mrs. Sneha Shah, to ask her first question. Over to you, Mrs. Shah.
Hello, good morning to all. My name is Mrs. Sneha Shah. My son is Anish Shah, studying in senior KG class B. And my question is, how to teach silent letters?
मैम, हम फोनिक्स द्वारा बच्चों को साइलेंट लेटर्स कैसे पढ़ा सकते हैं?
Actually, there is no rule for silent letters, but by the tips and tricks, we could teach them the silent letters. So always remember, जब भी अगर M के बाद अगर B आता है, तो it is always silent. तो ऐसे words कौन से हैं? For example, lamp. जब मैं lamp बोलती हूँ, तो it is I don't pronounce the b sound. I say it lamp, L-A-M-B. I say lamp. Comb. We don't say it comb. It's comb. Crumbs. Climbing. Plumbing, it's not plumbing, it's plumbing. The B is always silent. वैसे ही W के बाद अगर R आता है तो it is always silent. ऐसे words कौन से हैं? जैसे कि right, WRITE, right, wrong, wretch. Okay, so there are many words. So W के बाद कभी भी अगर R आता है तो वो always silent होता है. वैसे ही K के बाद अगर N आता है तो वो always silent होता है. Like in no, K-N-O-W, no, new, night, numb. So these are always silent. K will be always silent. Also, whenever after W के बाद अगर H आता है, it is always silent. जैसे कि what, when, whistle, which. So H will be always silent. Okay. Also, I could tell you that whenever after W A आता है तो always O sound होता है. जैसे कि word was, warned, whatever, swan. तो वो A नहीं pronounce करते, हम उसको O pronounce करते हैं. जैसे कि watch. Okay. So हम उसको always O pronounce करते हैं. और always ध्यान में रखना कि short vowel के बाद अगर च sound आता है तो वो ऑलवेज TCH होता है. जैसे कि वर्ड्स कैच, पिच, हिच, तो इट ए ये शॉर्ट वोवेल है. उसके बाद अगर मैं च साउंड सुनती हूँ तो वो ऑलवेज TCH होता है. वैसे ही G के बाद अगर N आता है तो वो साइलेंस होता है. तो हम ये सब साथ में नहीं बच्चों को सिखाते हैं. वी गो स्टेप बाय स्टेप कि ये फर्स्ट वी टीच देम दिस साउंड रूल्स और फिर ऐसे आगे बढ़ते हैं कि J कभी भी एंड में आता ही नहीं है. इट इज ऑलवेज DGE. सो वर्ड्स लाइक जज, सो इट इज JUDGE, जज, हेज, प्लेज, एंड मेनी वर्ड्स आर देयर.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving these wonderful tricks to learn the silent letters. Now, we move on to our next question. I kindly request our teacher, Mrs. Bhavika Rathod, to ask the next question. Over to you, Bhavika teacher.
Ma'am, please can you tell us what are the challenges faced while teaching phonics?
Basic foundation of these phonics to understand this alphabetic code. तो बहुत improve होता है उनका pronunciation और tricks से उनके spellings. They become the confident readers and independent writers. So definitely everyone should undergo this training through the sounds and the rules of it. And always there is a one section of the kids whose auditory skills, listening skills और उनका memory बहुत अच्छा होता है. तो ऐसे बच्चे इन्होंने phonics नहीं किया, but they could easily read and write and they do very well. But there is a one section of the kids who are really struggle in memorizing the word, memorizing the spellings, and whose listening skills are also not good. फिर ऐसे बच्चों को we could teach them through extra efforts, या फिर हम उनको कोई जैसे वर्ड फैमिली से या फिर उनको वॉवेल्स के लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मुझे एक ऐसे सेक्शन ऑफ किड्स होते हैं कि जिनको साउंड्स आते हैं पर उनको ज्वाइन करना नहीं आता है, जैसे ब आ च, तो ये उनको साउंड्स मालूम है पर उनको बैट नहीं करना आता है, ज्वाइन करना. तो हम क्या करते हैं, वी जस्ट मेक इट लाइक ब आ बैट बैट, ब ए बे ग बेग, ब ई बी बी च, ब अ ब च. तो ऐसे तरह से ऐसी ट्रिक्स एंड टिप्स से हम उनका साउंड्स और क्लियर ब्लेंडिंग प्रैक्टिस, सेगमेंटिंग प्रैक्टिस से वी मेक देम टू read and decode the words in the sentences.
Very true, ma'am. Basic knowledge for stronger foundation is must for every child. Thank you so much. As we are proceeding further, our student Sanchi Nagori would like to ask the next question. Over to you, Sanchi.
Good morning, one and all. I, Sanchi Rakesh Nagori, studying in 2nd B. My question is to Snehal ma'am. Why in some words we use double letters like hopping and hop, but we don't use double letters in jumping and jumped?
A very tricky question indeed. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes. So I could explain this by example. For example, if we take a root word hop, okay, and if you want to do the doubling of this and make it as hopping, hop, so the two conditions has to be satisfied, that the last three letters of that word has to be in CVC form, that is in consonant vowel consonant form, and the suffix what we are adding has to be in vowel form. So we can double that letter. So when I say the word hop, and when I want, my both the condition are satisfied, that my root word is in CVC form and my suffix starts with I. So I double the P in hopping. Or when I want to make it as hop, I double the P again, because my vowel is again, my suffix is also, again it is a vowel, and my word is in CVC form. Whereas अगर मैं स्टैम्प वर्ड लेती हूँ तो मेरे लास्ट थ्री लेटर VCC फॉर्म में है, मतलब वोवल कॉन्सोनेंट कॉन्सोनेंट फॉर्म में, AMP लास्ट थ्री लेटर्स. तो फिर अगर मुझे उसे डबल करना है, आई कांट डबल इट दो माय सफिक्स इज स्टार्टिंग विद अ वोवल. तो इन स्टैम्पिंग मेरे दोनों कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई नहीं होते, इसलिए मैं उसे डबल नहीं करती हूँ. Okay, so that is more required. Also remember there one trick, whenever any root word ends with WXY, वो कभी नहीं डबल होता है, even if both the condition are satisfied. तो ऐसे words कौन से हैं? So, sowing, we never double the W. Enjoy, enjoy, we never double the Y. Wax, waxing, wax, we never double the X. So W, X and Y, it never ever gets double.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, our parent, Mrs. Monali Guzar, is curious to know more about phonics. Over to you, Mrs. Guzar.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. My name is Monali Guzar, and my son is Chinmay Guzar, is studying in first standard B. My question is, what are the funny ways of teaching phonics, and how it can be made interesting through the game, ma'am?
Very interesting question, ma'am. हम फोनिक्स को विविध गेम्स और एक्टिविटीज द्वारा और भी ज्यादा मजेदार कैसे बना सकते हैं?
To very small children. Yeah, phonics is taught to very small children. So definitely, if we teach the how we teach in academic, it won't be very interesting, and you know they will not be like encouraging for the kids to enhance their vocabulary or to create that fond for reading. तो हम उन्हें अलग अलग गेम्स से सिखा सकते हैं. जैसे अगर हम उन्हें कह सकते हैं कि अगर मैंने वर्ड cat लिया, so cat has a 4 sound. So does cat has a 4 sound? Just check with your fingers. K, a, ch. Oh, it has 3 sounds. So jump, how you the child could say, oh, thumbs down. Oh, if you take another word, road, it has a 3 sounds. No, ro, r, o, d. Yes, though there are 4 letters, it has a 3 sounds. तो कोई गेम से, like you know, for example, अगर मैंने एक कोई sound लिया है, तो the child has to show that sound where on the blackboard or on the wall. ऐसे कोई गेम्स ले सकते हैं. या फिर हम क्लास में क्या करते हैं, एक ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स करते हैं, whatever the group we have done, and through that we play with them tambola. So the child, we just say them cat and they have to tick it. So what is happening here, when I say cat, their blending and their segmenting activity is getting improved, and they could just get more, you know, improvisation in their sounds. So there are many games and activities through which we can increase the
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. If a child is involved and made to interact, will surely improve his learning process. Thank you. Now we move on to the last question. Our parent, Mrs. Deepika Kadam, is eager to know about parents' role in teaching. Over to you, Mrs. Kadam.
Yes, good morning, ma'am. My name is Deepika Kadam. My son is Arav, and he is studying in first standard B class. My question is, how can parents support their child's learning at home?
अगदी छान प्रश्न आहे. मैम, पेरेंट्स अपने बच्चों की पढ़ाई फोनिक्स द्वारा घर में ही कैसे ले सकते हैं?
Yes. So first of all, we have to take care that the sounds are very clear. ओके, सो हमें ये ध्यान रखना है कि उनकी साउंड्स क्लियर है, जिससे वो रीड कर सकते हैं, ब्लेंड कर सकते हैं वर्ड्स। तो उनके साउंड्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि करेक्ट प्रोनाउंसिएशन है क्या। उसके साथ आई वुड सजेस्ट यू ओके, इफ देयर इज नो lot of English speaking at home, so I'll definitely suggest them to at least watch whatever the cartoons they are watching or movies what they are watching, make them see in English. So what will happen there, understand the comprehension skills get developed, and through that, you know, they could read, at least they could understand and they could relate it with reading. So that is one of the trick. With that, I would suggest that every parent, at least for 15 minutes daily, has to take with the child some reading activity. And those books which they will be referred, they has to be age appropriate. मतलब अगर वो बच्चा सेकेंड स्टैंडर्ड में है तो उसे वो सेकेंड स्टैंडर्ड की बुक्स प्रोवाइड कर रही है, जिससे उनको और इंटरेस्ट आ जाए, कि उनको कॉन्फिडेंस इंक्रीज हो जाए कि यस आई कुड रीड इट बेटर. सो डेली रीडिंग हैज टू बी डन विद द चाइल्ड.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With this, we come to an end of the question answers round. A child who reads will be an adult who thinks, and reading is more fun when you know how to. Thus, I would like to surely mention that Tejal ma'am has made this webinar truly joyful. She also made us aware that phonics is the basic foundation of learning to read, write, and converse, thus making it a fun-filled process. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I hand over to Jacinta ma'am to present her views.
Thank you, Gitanjali. Thank you, Tejal, for the valuable advice and guidance, which will help our students to learn phonics in an effective way, enabling them to become a confident and independent readers. Thank you once again. Over to you, Sarika.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks. I extend my most sincere thanks to our chief guest, Mrs. Tejal Shah ma'am, for being here with us today. Ma'am has beautifully explained how phonics allows young readers to develop their reading comprehension and decode new words as they read. A special thanks to our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar sir, who is playing a huge role in the success of students, teachers, and parents. We are fortunate enough to have your support. I thank our education committee members for their guidance always. I also thank our principal, Mrs. Jacinta Manuel ma'am, who ensures the learning and growth of both students and teachers. I extend my gratitude to our technical team for their willingness and involvement to take on the completion of work beyond their comfort zone. A very big thanks to all our parents and Facebook viewers. Meet you soon in our next webinar. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, Pune, India. Thanks all our viewers for giving their overwhelming response. Thanks to our today's eminent speaker. A special thanks to our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar. A big thanks to our organizing team, Mrs. Jacinta Manuel, Principal, Mr. Kalpesh Darji, Team Leader, Mrs. Sarika Paigude, Teacher, Mrs. Gitanjali Gullapelli, Teacher, Mrs. Itisha Shah, Teacher, Miss Bhavika Rathod, Teacher, Miss Urvisha Rathod, Teacher, Mrs. Aparna Dhaigude, Team Member, Once again, thank you all. Thank you all the viewers for watching this webinar. We look forward seeing you next Sunday for yet another interesting webinar. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.